This is a real story that we'll call The Stranger in the Hallway, a thought experiment on reality. My name is Garrett, and this happened during my junior year in college, a time when everything felt both promising and uncertain, like the universe itself was teetering between order and chaos. I had just moved into an off-campus co-op after leaving the dorms. It wasn't exactly glamorous. 3 old houses clumped together like distant relatives pretending to get along, barely within walking distance of campus. But the rent was cheap, and I was broke, so there I was, with a second-hand bike and a first-class sense of disorientation. Most of the residents were like me, students figuring things out, juggling classes and identity crises. But there were a few exceptions, some grad students, a couple of eccentric alums, and 1 or 2 older folks who were either auditing classes or just around. One of them, however, was different. Not different in the quirky way you expect in co-op living, but in the kind of way that feels like a glitch in the fabric of your understanding. She was an older woman, late 50s maybe, though something in her posture and eyes made her seem much older, like time had touched her differently. Her hair was streaked with grey, her walk unsteady, like her bones remembered a different gravity. No one talked to her. She didn't talk to anyone. Her presence was like static, always there, always humming just beneath perception. I assumed she was connected to the university somehow. A professor maybe? Or an alum who never fully left. But when I asked around, people either shrugged or said something like, "She's always been here," and they meant that literally. The first time I really noticed her, she was standing in the common kitchen, not cooking, not eating, not even pretending to belong, just standing, motionless, while the rest of us moved in loud, chaotic spirals around her. She didn't flinch, she didn't smile, she didn't blink. Her eyes, flat and unmoving, scanned the room like she was watching a memory instead of people. I made eye contact with her briefly, and I swear she was looking at me, not in the casual way people glance at each other in shared space, but in the way predators observe patterns, or prophets see warnings. Still, no one said anything. No introductions, no explanations, just silence. Her silence, our silence, a mutual agreement not to unravel the thread. A few days later, I saw her again, this time from my window. I was studying late, and something pulled my eyes toward the street. There she was, standing in the middle of the road, staring up. Her face was unreadable, her body completely still despite the wind. There was no sidewalk beneath her feet, no purpose to her posture, just stillness. Watching. I told myself she couldn't be looking at me, but that ancient unease crept into my chest. You know the feeling, you felt it as a kid when you thought there was something in your closet. That low-frequency fear that makes the air feel thick. Against my better judgment, I waved. A polite, confused wave, just enough to break the tension. Her response? She jumped, not in surprise, but with joy, like a child who just got picked for a game. Then she turned and ran, not stumbled, ran, fast and deliberate, toward one of the other houses. I didn't sleep that night. And when I did sleep, I dreamed of eyes behind doors, of strangers who knew my name before I was born. I finally asked someone about her. One of my housemates gave the same cryptic response, "She's always been here." I pressed him further, and he admitted he didn't actually know who she was, he was just told to ignore her when he moved in. Ignore her? How do you ignore the embodiment of dread? Eventually, one of the seniors from her house offered a vague explanation. She was connected to the property manager, he said. She had some issues, but she was harmless. I asked how they could be so sure, and he said, because nothing's happened. Yet, funny how we use normalcy as proof that danger doesn't exist. Like saying a minefield is safe because no one stepped on a mine, yet. And then came the night she stood outside my room. It was past midnight. I opened my door and nearly collided with her. She didn't speak. She didn't even seem surprised. She simply turned and walked away, as if I were the ghost and she the living one. After that, things got worse. Subtle at first, objects slightly moved, lights turning on when I was sure I'd turned them off. But then I lost my room key. I always kept it on a hook, and suddenly it was gone. Everyone had a spare, including me, but the original key? Vanished. I tried to brush it off. College was chaos. Maybe I'd misplaced it. Maybe this was just a normal mistake in an abnormal environment. Until the bumping. One night, I woke up to a soft, repetitive noise, a dull thud, then silence, then another, coming from my closet. I sat up. The bumping stopped. I waited. Another thud. My mind raced. Mouse? Draft? Dream? I got up, slowly, and approached the closet. My breath caught in my throat. The air in the room felt heavier, like I was walking through water. I flung the door open and screamed. She was in there. curled in the darkness, my missing tie wrapped loosely around her neck like some kind of mockery of a noose. In her hand, my kitchen knife, her eyes wide, not with fear, but with focus, with certainty. She lunged. There's a moment in philosophy called the absurd. Camus described it as the conflict between our desire for meaning and the silent, indifferent universe. That moment, her lunging at me, that was the absurd. The terrifying realization that no reason, no warning, no narrative could make this make sense. I fought back. My instincts took over. I shouted, wrestled the knife from her, and pinned her down. My housemates rushed out. We restrained her. She screamed, a raw, wordless sound, then went silent. The police came. She didn't resist. She didn't speak, but they found my key on her, tucked neatly in her pocket, as if she'd never planned to return it. A few weeks later, we found out the truth. She was the property manager's sister. He had let her live in one of the empty rooms. Off the books, unwatched. She had a long history of mental illness. No treatment, no oversight, just buried like a secret under the floorboards of student life. He was charged with negligence. Rightfully so. As for her, I don't know. I don't hate her. I don't even blame her. Not really. She became, in my mind, a symbol of fragility, of reality's thin skin, of the stories we refuse to investigate because the answers make us uncomfortable. I'm graduating soon. I'll miss college, the laughter, the stress, the long nights of debate and discovery, but I'll always carry that moment with me. Not just because I nearly died, but because it forced me to ask a question that still haunts me. What if the strangest thing about reality isn't that it's unknowable, but that it's knowable, and we just refuse to look? Thanks for watching. If this made you think, or helped you sleep, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the human mind, scary or morbid stories, and the philosophical forces that shape our world. Until next time, stay aware, stay positive, and remember, you are only human.